Hi, I'm Paul Pan with DJI, and I'm here to explain how to build and run the Ronin. We'll start out with the mounting of 5D. As you see, the Ronin here, we've already taken it out of the box and mounted the handles. You can also see that I've installed the Velcro straps, and if you take a look at how these straps are installed, you can essentially mount the Ronin to the stand and lift it off as one single piece. So let's start. This is the camera dovetail plate. We're going to mount a 5D today. Let's set everything else aside and start here. You take out your bag, you grab the tool, hex tool. We're going to mount the 5D to the base plate here. Okay, that's mounted. Now on the 5D, and in particular with the 5D and similar SLRs, what we want to do is we want to take the lens and the body and make sure that the gimbal sees it as one solid piece. And because of the connection point between the SLR lens and the camera body, on these particular bodies there is kind of a wiggle whenever you try to move this lens, or if the gimbal basically doesn't see this as one solid piece. And so if any vibrations come through, the two components will vibrate at different frequencies, and so then the gimbal may start to shake. So to fix this issue, we have this Y brace for the camera lens. And so let's mount that. And what I'm doing is, all I'm doing is mounting it and then just pushing up with a little bit of pressure, applying a little bit of pressure up towards the lens and tightening the screw. And so now the camera is mounted on the dovetail. Next, we'll take this and mount it to the gimbal. So let's see, let me undo the straps here. Now, to keep something in mind is, when you mount a camera, you want to mount it with everything, all the accessories that you're going to plan to shoot with. And so typically what people do is they'll mount it and then they forget that, oh, I forgot to put in the battery, or I forgot to put in the card. And so make sure you have everything ready when you're mounting it and balancing. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're balancing, you want to make sure to also install the battery as well, because you're balancing the whole unit. You're balancing the whole thing as a whole unit, complete unit. So let's install the battery, push down, lock the battery in place, and let's start balancing. So first what we're going to do is we're going to mount the camera to the base plate here. Okay. And what we're going to do is first we're going to just balance the fore and aft. So let's get this. We're just going to get it just about right first. Okay, so I'm going to lock that in place. Okay, next I'm going to balance the roll, so it's the left and right. I'm going to get that just about so that it doesn't move left or right when I let go. Okay. We're going to come back to rebalancing these things after I adjust this vertical. So next is to adjust the vertical. What I'm doing is I'm going to adjust this up and down and position the camera like so. So when I let go, the camera is not dropping forward or tilting back. So I'm going to balance this axis here. That's about right there. And I want to make sure that with these marks on the side, I'm going to watch these marks on both sides so that they are even. Okay, that's about right there. So I'm locked in position. Now I'm going to go back and rebalance this fore and aft. Okay, and then the left and right just a bit here. It's balanced. So what I'm looking for here is I'm position the camera at these angles and then the camera doesn't drop. Position this, roll left, roll right, camera doesn't drop. Down, camera doesn't drop. That's what we're looking for. Once we have this front portion balanced, I'm going to balance this back portion here. And what we're looking for is, if you want to consider this whole thing as one piece and consider the front portion of the gimbal and then the back portion of the gimbal. And what you're doing is you're balancing it along this axis. And so if I position it like this and I tilt this, tilt the handle up, you'll see that right now this portion of the gimbal is heavier. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to loosen these tabs and then slide the whole gimbal mechanism back. Let's see here. Slide back. Check the balance. It's still a little bit front heavy. Slide it back just a little bit more. Still a little bit more. So there. It's just about balanced. Oh, just a bit more here. Okay, so wherever position I position, and it's not wanting to tilt towards a heavier side. So now this front portion and the rear portion are balanced. Okay, so right now I'm going to go into how the battery works. I installed the battery earlier. I'm going to take the battery out and explain the battery system. So you undo the thumb screws here, press up, releases the battery. The battery is a 3,400 milliamp 4-cell battery. It's not like our DJI Phantom battery, and thus our charger is a special charger made specifically for a 4-cell battery. And so you have to keep in mind when you're using our charger that we include with the Ronin package that you're only charging our 4-cell and not our Phantom series, and not using our Phantom series of chargers to charge a Ronin battery. The other thing that's included in the kit are these 15mm rods. These are accessory rods that install onto the front base plate, allowing you to install, say, like follow focus systems or other accessories. And so the rods just screw on here. They also are segmented, so depending on the length of the lens and where you want to position your accessories, you just remove the rods that you won't need. The other thing that we include, we're not going to mount these rods for now. So the other thing that we include in this system is a transmitter. This is a transmitter for a second operator. So let me explain how that works. I'm going to mount the battery back in and turn the system back on. And to turn the system on, we just press and hold this button for 1 second. Hold, let go. System will turn on, and the Ronin is on. And so how do you pair the Ronin with the transmitter? You turn on the transmitter, and here is a pairing button. You get something like a sharp point like this. Press down, wait, and now it's paired. So now I have control of the Ronin via remote control as a second operator. Let's see, next is, let me explain the modes. So on the Ronin itself, we have multiple control modes. We have this free floating mode, and also if, say, the Ronin operator picks up the Ronin, there is no smooth track. So basically right now, smooth track is completely off. The camera movement is not translated based off the Ronin operator's movement. Next we have, on the transmitter, we have the reset mode, and the camera resets and recenters, but smooth track is now turned on. And so the Ronin operator will, whichever way they face, the Ronin, the camera will pan, translating the Ronin operator's movement. And then last we have this mode, which is just completely free, and but the camera operator also, or the Ronin operator also has the smooth track turned on in this mode. So that's the 3 operation modes on the transmitter. Let's reset the thing. Okay, so right now it's reset. We can turn the transmitter off, and I'll explain the different operation modes of the Ronin. So 1, we have the standard underslung mode with smooth track turned on, so there's tilt and pan. Next, we have the upright mode. So if I take the Ronin, face it towards myself, completely flip it up, and now we have the upright mode. This allows you to shoot at eye level, and it also allows you to shoot even higher to get a higher perspective of things. Lastly, we have what we call the briefcase mode. So to transition from the upright mode back to the underslung mode, you just flip it back forward, turn it around, and the briefcase mode is a mode which it's hard to simulate here because we're on a tabletop, but I'm just going to simulate it as though I was standing next to the Ronin. I'm going to pick up this handle, basically turning this handle into this handle. So see how I'm holding it like this? I'm going to then grab this like this, hold it down like this, and imagine me holding it next to my legs like this. So now this is the briefcase mode, and the briefcase mode has smooth track in all the axes as well. And to transition back, you just pick it back up, hold this handle again, and then it goes back into its standard underslung mode.